102.5 Radio Pembrokeshire, where you hear the people you know.
I'm Gavin Wright, I'm from Penally. I listen to it in the car, gives me good information about traffic and things like that, really.
Radio Pembrokeshire.
It is I here keeping you company, BB Scone, on 102.5 Radio Pembrokeshire. Men singles final day, and I'm holding court on both sides of the net. And also it's Pembroke Festival next weekend. Now, coming up next here on the BB Scone Show, 102.5 Radio Pembrokeshire, tonight's special guest I'm very excited about, Ben Edom from Fishguard. Okay, that is the title track, Spindrift, off Ben Edom's CD. I'm glad he's in the studio here with me at 102.5 Radio Pembrokeshire. Welcome, Ben.
Great to be here. Thanks very much, Malcolm.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you. I've been listening to rehearsing, and that song is tune, absolutely amazing. How long have you been playing guitar?
Well, I started playing guitar when I was 11. I used to draw and paint before then, and I won a national art competition at the age of 11 and spent my great earnings of, I think it was £10 on my first guitar. So it's been my thing ever since.
So with due respect, that's been quite a while then.
Well, it has been quite a while, yes. So
And
perhaps I should be better than I am.
Good God, I don't think it can get any better. I mean, and I notice you're playing a 7-string acoustic. Now, what's so special about a 7-string guitar?
When I was 9, my parents decided that I ought to learn some instruments, so they got me learning the cello. And although I love the guitar, it misses out on that low register, the rich, low sound. So when the luthier who'd made my previous guitar, the one I'm actually using on the album Spindrift, when he emailed me to say, I'm now making 7-string guitars, would you like one? I had to say yes.
Well, I noticed that the bass is a prominent aspect of your work. I've noticed that in the rehearsal and in that song. Tune, you keep saying song. It sounds sometimes like it's two people playing at once. Is that good?
That's the kind of compliment I really like, yes.
Although I'm not a man who's big on technique, though. Somebody who can slapping out 1 or 2 chords like Bo Diddley, and I'd enjoy it as well.
Well, that's in the feeling, isn't it? That's with something to say.
Yeah. I mean, would you agree with that? It's not just about technique.
Oh, absolutely. I agree. No, it's what the Spanish call duende.
But I don't.
Spirit.
Absolutely, yeah. You've got to have the spirit there.
Oh, yes.
Now, if people want to find out more about you, Ben, you've got a website that people can go to?
Yes, it's very memorable. It's benedom.com.
And that's EDOM.
Thank you very much. Yes,
You did tell me earlier, it's a cadet clan, I know, of the you've got Scottish links, roots, yeah?
Well, yes, way back. Probably centuries, I don't know. I can't remember personally,
But you're not a local boy, see, as we say in Pembrokeshire.
Well,
you're not local, are you?
No, I'm not. Well, I am staying local now because I've been staying in Pembrokeshire for just over a year. And 30 years ago, I used to live up in Mainclochog.
Of course, yes.
And although I must say my Pembrokeshire Welsh is a little rusty, I do remember some of it. And in fact, at the time, it was one of the only ways you could get a conversation was to speak Rosebush Welsh as well.
Of course, up in Mainclochog, yeah, Rosebush, yes, definitely. Anyway, we've established you're not a local, but we're letting you be an honorary local because you're such a marvellous guitar player.
Very kind.
What are you going to play for us now?
Well, I'd like to play a tune from the lowlands of Scotland called Broom of the Cowden Nose. It's a very old song, probably goes back to the 1600s, and it's a wonderful love song. I used to love this when I was my 10 years in Australia. One of the lines is, "Fain would I be in my ain country." So it's a home song and a thing about the distant and beautiful youth.
Okay, take it away. Here's to our distant and beautiful youth. amazing stuff. Ben really does get into the spirit of the tune. Wow, more from him later on in the programme, but meanwhile, coming up. That's the third tune from my session guest here at Radio Pembrokeshire tonight, Ben Edom. That was called Delirium, or it has got a Gaelic title, which Ben will tell you what it is in a minute. But that was an absolutely fantastic tune or song, Ben. Amazing, well done.
Well, thank
Don't
you.
want to sound patronising, but fabulous. Tell us a bit about it.
Well, it's actually from a song. It becomes a song when the tune's written by Donald Shaw, who's a very famous keyboard player up in Scotland now. It's from a poem by Angus MacNeil, which is about somebody who's so much in love. They try always to get away from this addictive love that goes down to the alehouse but still sees his love's face in the bottom of the glass. And so it's a tune, it's a song about being so much in love you can't think straight. So I liked playing around with 4 or 5 different styles of guitar within it to try and give this feeling of disorientation and yet infatuation.
Well, on first listening, I'm sure you're achieving that. It's brilliant. It's really good. I don't know what to say now. Yes, I do. Remind my two listeners, Sid and Doris Bonkers of Ethelwyn, about your website, Ben.
Well, my website is my own name, benedom.com. That's EDOM. And there you'll be able to listen to more tunes than Malcolm's got time for this afternoon.
In fact, that one with Delirium, I think the one that you're going to play later on, neither of those are featured on your album, Spindrift.
Well, this is quite true, yes.
And when are you playing next in the county? I know you.
Well, the next thing I've got actually booked is playing at Cafern Manor on Thursday, September the 13th, in support of a Scottish trio, Laurie Watson Trio.
And Coffin Manor is in Roach.
Yeah.
So it's an all Scottish bill, really, then?
Well, yes, that should be fun. I haven't seen my friend Ewan Watson for some years, but he's the guitarist there.
Okay. Well, I'm enjoying the chat, but I think I'd rather hear more of your music. Before we hear some more, though, tell me about your influences. Who have influenced your style of playing and the direction you've taken with your music generally?
Well, I have to say the simple word for that is eclectic.
Right.
As a young person, probably as a child, we always had this routine of listening to the White Heather Club.
Oh, yeah, right.
So if those that remember it, it's very Scottish, folky and traditional. So that was the grounding, as well as classical music that my parents played. I love J.S. Bach to listen to, and I play a little, and people don't mind hearing it as well. But in terms of guitars, I'm very lucky to hear Segovia in concert and the incredible Camargue flamenco player, Maninas de Plata. And these people, with the spirit, the duende, as it's called in Spanish, that is added to all the technicality. Whereas the classical music, which tends to be more on the precision side rather than the kind of fire that I'm looking for, like you get from a good hot curry or a Mexican chili, you know. That's the kind of fire I want to get.
And okay, right. And let's see about the last song you're going to play for us tonight then. And I know that was influenced by a particular musician, wasn't it? Tell us a bit about that.
Well, it's a little medley again. The first part is a Gaelic strathspey, which is timing, which is characteristic of Scotland. It's called Dondu, which is one way of describing the devil. And so I love putting it with another tune, which is called the Lac des Abbesses, or the Lake of the Abbesses, which I first heard being played by Pierre Bensusan, great French guitarist.
Right.
And it's one of those tunes that, as a guitarist, you think, if only I could play that tune, I will then call myself a guitarist. For some people, it's classical gas, but for me, it's Le Lac des Abbesses.
Well, we're going to hear it now. Thank you very much for coming in, Ben, and good luck with your future career in Pembrokeshire. I'm sure you don't need it.
Well, thank you very much, Malcolm. It's been great to be here.
Wow. Wow. What can I say? Ben Edom, what a marvellous guitarist he is. You must try and see him perform, or even get his album, Spindrift, which is available through his website. We'll get him back sometime soon. I think that's about all we have time for tonight on the BBC.